It's been 192 hours since I've got the iPhone 16 Pro Max, and I think the camera control button is useless. Yeah, I told you guys that I was gonna do a review at the end of the month, but I just couldn't wait to talk about the camera control button. It's just hear me out first. I do have a point here. I do have some tests, and I think by the end of the video, you guys will agree with me. Though I don't think it's gonna take too much to convince you guys about that. All right, so here's what I do when I want to open my camera app. I just tap and then hold on to that, and then there we go, right? Okay, that's what I do. I think that's what most people do. Double click the camera button, and then there we go. The camera is up. I think it is faster, but not by much. But you know, in doing that, I wish there was already a button that I could use. I could map, maybe double click or triple click to just open a camera app. I don't know. Maybe, just maybe. But I just can't get over the button placement. My thumb is almost at an awkward position if I want to shoot anything vertical, like right now, like you're seeing right now. Of course, it's a different story if you want to shoot in landscape, and there you go. You know, it's a lot more intuitive, and then it's easier. What is the difference of me doing this? I want to play around with the filter and the tone. What is the difference between doing that? You know, I'll just do this and this and this. And then what is this? And then when I click styles, and then it just does that. You know, honestly, anything that you can do with the camera control button here, you can actually do much better, much faster on just, you know, just doing this and then changing to photos and portrait and spatial and panorama and everything else. For being a camera control feature, there is no timer, which is really important for me and for a lot of people. They have it like in their mind only for people who are trying to shoot something like this, shooting for somebody or something using the back camera and nothing using the selfie camera. You know, if you set up the phone like this, imagine if you can set the button, double click, triple click, or everything. I think that's a lot better. While the camera app is open, triple click and then start the timer for like 10 seconds. But then again, you know, you can just do this and then swipe and then just do that. You have the timer already set at 10 seconds. It's not looking really good here. Even on the old phones, I could still do that. And there we go. We have the camera app here. Right, so I have the camera open, and then, you know, I can take pictures. As I take pictures, the phone moves. Okay, I'm trying not to move it. All right? I'm trying not to move it. It's still moving. Whereas I can do this. There's minimal movement compared to when I'm trying to use the button. If I am taking a picture of someone else, the phone still moves. Whereas I can do this. There's definitely a noticeable difference. You know, I want to like this button. I want it to be useful. I want it to not be a waste on this very expensive phone. I want it to be useful, not just for me, but for everyone else. This one right here in the video section here, the ProRes here, log, that is the best feature that came out since the iPhone 15. But this, you know, these past few years, it kind of feels like Apple has been slipping on the optimization part. I know I'm on the iOS 18 developer beta OS, but it didn't show in the video like what you see. There wasn't any issues, but you know what I'm talking about, right? It's been happening. You guys can see it. And then not only that, you guys can see from the clip here, when I put the camera on a tripod and the grip, it's the button is almost unusable here. I kind of miss Steve Jobs. I don't know if it's any different if he's around. Apple products have always been expensive, I admit that, but it's always been like up there. What we have over these past few years with Tim Cook, right? The capitalism is kind of being more obvious than innovation right here. Like I have told you guys in the beginning of the video, I know that you guys are going to agree with me, but I know as well that it doesn't take much to convince you guys. I forgot what I was gonna say. Well, finally, I digress. See, it's not that the hardware is bad. Granted, there is a little gatekeeping and then paywalling and then the slowness of adoption of new tech and everything from Apple's side. Is it time for me to switch to Android again? I did use a few Android devices before. I did use the first OnePlus before. I used the Samsung, Xiaomi, OnePlus, all flagships. It was terrible then, but maybe it's not bad now. Or maybe a Pixel. The Pixel 9 Pro XL, oof. The pink one looks, oof. Looks really good. Yeah, I know. I realize how I sound and how critical I am talking about this camera. This simple button right here may not ever get me any invitation on any Apple event, which I really want to go to, but I just have to be honest. The moment you take out your phone out of your pocket, your phone lights up. You just do that and your camera comes up. The moment your phone is lifted up, you can do that as well. But how is it any different than what I just did? Nanoseconds, milliseconds, I'm not sure. But it's very, very little difference to how quickly you can access your camera. Look, I am definitely not a hater. Ask my wife, ask my friends, ask my sister. They know I'm an Apple fan, not a fanboy. I'm still able to see past all the fluff. I had the iPhone 2G, the 3G, the 4, the 4S. I'm just proving a point here. This camera control button right here that Apple made, that Apple came out with, the iPhone 16, all the iPhone 16s that come up with, credit where it's due. Every phone in the lineup gets this. It's not any better than just opening your phone and then just hitting that and then opening your camera. It's not that useful as they make it. It's not as effective as they make it. It's not fun as they make it. But this one is.